In the next series of videos, we're going to be looking at solving equations. In this video, we're going to be looking at solving one-step equations. We're going to be looking at two methods of solving. One is called backtracking, the other is called inverse operations. You can use either method to solve, however, inverse operations is seen as the more sophisticated method to use. Before we start, I want to remind you that when we are solving equations, we use the four operations that we normally would use in arithmetic: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And when solving an equation, it means that you need to work backwards to work out the unknown input number when you already have the answer. The first two equations we will look at is x plus 9 equals 21 and 4m is equal to 36. First of all, let's look at this one here. X plus 9 is equal to 21. X is the unknown input number. When I add 9 to that number, I get 21. One way we could do this is using a flowchart and then we backtrack. So what we're going to do is we're going to put x here as our unknown number. The first thing that we do to x is we add 9. When we add 9, we get 21. So to work backwards to work out x, I have to do the opposite of plus 9. To undo plus 9, we're going to minus 9. So that's what we do here. 21 minus 9 gives me 12. So that is the solution to my equation. X is equal to 12. Now another way to do this would be to use inverse operations. When we use inverse operations, we do exactly the same thing as we did with backtracking, but we set it out differently. So in this equation, we've got x plus 9, and the first thing that we did over here to undo the plus 9 was to minus 9. Now, when we're using inverse operations, what you must always remember is that what we do on one side of the equal sign, we must also do on the other side. So we're going to minus 9. Now, this plus 9 and this minus 9 are going to cancel out. Plus 9 minus 9 gives us 0. So we are left with x is equal to 21 minus 9. And 21 minus 9 gives me 12. Now let's look at the second equation. 4m is equal to 36. Now 4m means 4 times m. So we have m here as our unknown number. And the first thing we do to m is we times it by 4. And we get 36. Now the opposite of times 4 is divided by 4. So to undo that times 4 and work backwards to find m, we need to divide by 4. 36 divided by 4 gives me 9. So that is my answer. M is equal to 9. Now we can show this the same way on the right-hand side using inverse operations. So we have 4m is equal to 36. Now to undo the 4 times m, I had to divide by 4. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do the same thing to both sides. I'm going to divide by 4. Now, when we say divide by 4, in algebra, we normally show divided by with a line underneath the expression and then our number underneath that. So this 4 times m and divided by 4, they're going to cancel out so that I'm left with m is equal to 36 divided by 4, which gives us 9. And there is our same answer. Let's look at these next two equations. This first one here is a minus 3 equals 15. So a is my unknown to go into this box. The first thing I do to a is I minus 3 and I get 15. Now, to undo minus 3, I'm going to add 3. So 15 plus 3 gives me 18. And a is equal to 18. Now let's do the same thing using inverse operations. We have a minus 3. Now over here, to undo the minus 3, we had to plus 3. So we're going to plus 3 to both sides of the equation. Plus 3, and that's going to equal 15 plus 3. Now, this minus 3 and this plus 3 will cancel out. Minus 3 plus 3 gives us 0. So we are left with a is equal to 15 plus 3, which is 18. And there is our solution. Let's look at the last equation. We have b over 5 equals 7. Now remember, when you see a pronumeral and a line underneath it and a number like this, it means division. So this is b divided by 5 is equal to 7. So we're going to divide b by 5. And remember, b is the unknown in this box. Now, the opposite of dividing is multiplying. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to multiply by 5 to undo that equation. Now, our answer was 7. So to work backwards, we're going to times by 5. And 7 times 5 gives us 35. So b is equal to 35. What does this look like when we're using inverse operations? Well, we start with b divided by 5. Now, over here, we multiplied by 5 to undo the division. So, on this side, we're going to multiply by 5. And remember, whatever we do to one side of the equals, we must also do to the other side. So, we're going to say 7 times 5. Now, divided by 5 and times 5 will cancel each other out. So we are left with b is equal to 35. The same answer. Thank you for watching this video on one-step equations.